Hey everybody, the cameraman here. Today is Monday, August 22nd. It's 10:25 a.m. and I'm back at the Buena Park Police Department here to make another public records request for the video Sergeant Nguyen took of time to stand going through the checkpoint. I'm here to make a public records request for that and obtain a copy of it. Yes, I'm here to do a public records request. On Friday, it's Friday, August 19th, you had a DUI and driver's license checkpoint at Beach Boulevard and Stanton Avenue.
Okay.
A gentleman known as Time to Stand to protest the checkpoint drove his vehicle through the checkpoint multiple times. There's no law saying that's illegal. And through the third or fourth time he went through, Sergeant Nguyen took out his cell phone, I believe it was, and began recording Time to Stand as he went through the checkpoint. And I would just like to obtain a copy of that.
You'd have to get a subpoena for records.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's public record. See, once he uses his phone for on official business,
Can I
it
see your
becomes
license?
For what?
So I can go back to traffic and ask them about it?
You don't need to show ID for public records.
Okay, what's your
I got
name?
public records law right here if you'd like to take a look at it. Here. Number 3, the requester need not identify.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'll go grab someone for you, okay?
Thank you. I did inform Sergeant Nguyen ahead of time I would be doing this, so.
Have a seat. I'll be right back, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you?
Hey, Sergeant Carter. Good. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good. Nice to see you.
Okay, so you're looking for a Public Records Act request?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'm bringing something out for you with all the information.
Okay.
This is a sample that I took right off the internet. However, I understand that the City of Buena Park website actually has these on there you can fill out, okay? So it goes like this. It's a Public Records Act request. You fill out whoever, this one here is going to be Custodian of Records, okay? And it'll have something that basically says, this is what I'm looking for. You're going to describe what it is. Okay, that doesn't apply. This is just a sample. This is like someone who said, you told me I couldn't have it. But the request form over there, it goes to the city, then they send it to us. And we have 10 days to respond to your request. And they have a person here who pulls all that kind of information, and they provide it to you. Okay. But this is an example of what it looks like. It's not the exact one. So I printed that out for you. I wrote Custodian of Records on the back so that you know who to address it to. Okay. But that should answer all your questions. You should be able to get your video.
Yes. So I just got to go over to City Hall and do it?
No, you do it on the city website.
Oh,
you go on the Buena Park, City of Buena Park or buenapark.com. The website will come up, and there's a copy on there. I think it's an electronic copy you can fill out. If not, if you just put in Public Records Act sample on the internet in a search bar, there'll be a ton of them that come up. You can just grab one, get it, address it to Custodian of Records, and send it to us. You can mail it, you can do it over the internet, and it goes into our records bureau. And our records bureau, from the date we get that thing, it says we have 10 days to comply. That's how, like, when I deal with stuff for the register and the claims and stuff, if they want information, they send it to us as a Public Records Act request. We just supply that stuff, and they get it, and they run with it.
But you don't take on-person requests?
What do you mean?
Verbal requests?
No.
You don't?
It has to go through that. There's a process that happens. That way they know that. You got to remember, some of the things that we have in here are things that are cases that are ongoing, and we have to release the ones that are not involved and stuff like that. So we need to make sure we track what we release, and that's why the request has to be formal, written, some form like that.
Okay, but have you? I don't know if you're aware of this form. If you've seen this form before, but that's what I usually go by.
Okay. This is what you're talking about here?
Yeah.
Let me read this here.
I mean, I've done it with La Palma, CHP. Usually what they do is they'll just put it on a disc, and I pay for the disc.
Yeah, we have people who specifically do that. They pull stuff in court and stuff like that, and then they put that stuff on. That's what you would get whenever you have a Public Records Act request. Written request often has advantages. Okay, practically, maybe necessarily with all requests being turned down for what appear to be inadequate or misinformed reasons, or the kind number of documents being sought needs to be detailed description. Legally, a written request sent by email, fax, registered to mail. Probably records and date on which the response details set online. Also entitles request for written response from the agency given the reasons legal authority withholding all. Okay, so that says that if there was some reason, like it was being, something that was involved in a court hearing, something like a shooting. Like if an officer is involved in a shooting, video or audio or something, the victim of the shooting has rights, the officer has rights, and we can't violate those rights. So there are some times when it would be denied like that.
Yes.
So let me keep reading here. Given the requirements of writing, it would this will be written request, appellate court, 2001. That's a pretty old appellate court. Requester not need to identify, okay. Do not state their purpose, okay. Scope of the request must be reasonably clear. Describe clearly enough to determine whether the writings of the type described and the request are under control. And it compels the agency to provide a copy of non-exempt records upon request. Must be tempered by reality. The requester having no access to agency files may be unable to precisely identify the documents sought. Got it. So it's talking about blanket requests. Thus, writings may be described in their content. Agency must then determine whether it has such writings under its control and the applicability of any exemption. Agency is thus obliged to search for record based on criteria set for the search. Do you know exactly what one you're looking for?
Yes, it's just one video. It's between 9:15 p.m. and 9:50 p.m.
Okay.
The gentleman knows time to stand, or Richard Crowell. He drove his vehicle through the checkpoint multiple times as a way of protesting and see if they will check his ID. No point that they check his ID, but it was the third or fourth time he went through. Sergeant Nguyen pulled out his cell phone, I believe, and took a quick video of him going through the checkpoint, and that's all I want.
Okay.
Just a copy of that. Now, if it was like multiple things, like any and all pictures that were taken at the checkpoint, I would put that in writing because there's multiple items.
So you're saying it was on a person's cell phone?
Yeah.
It wasn't on a vehicle?
No, it was
on a body camera?
No. As far as I'm aware, once you use the cell phone, not the entire contents of the cell phone are public record, but what was recorded on official duty for public record is public record.
Okay, so do we know for a fact that it was recorded? They didn't just hold the phone up and do this?
Well, that's how. His camera.
You know or you don't know? I don't know. I'm asking because I wasn't there.
Well, I'm making the request. Time to stand. He's the one that saw it record. He watched him do it. Now, his camera is a cell phone. You know, they don't have a red light on it. So, but I'm pretty sure he was recording. And I did inform him ahead of time that I would be making the request.
Okay. I'm going to ask this of you, if you don't mind. You've always been pretty good with me. And I hope you trust me from our contacts out in the field. Or just the backside of the page.
Yeah. Recycle, reduce, reuse.
To help ease access.
Do you need the date as well?
I will in whatever your request is, but let me finish reading here.
Yeah, because they're paying the Department of Justice and FBI.
Within 10 days.
Okay, no, I'm talking $69, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, it does say that the request doesn't have to be in writing, but it also says that we have the ability to, the 10-day notice there, or say you have to have it within 10 days, is only to resolve a good faith doubt whether all or part of the recording is accessible by the public. So for example, if you ask to see the minutes of a meeting, there's no need to make a determination as to whether they're public. That's what they are. However, video, where the video came from, and stuff like that is something we actually have to look into, so we do need a little time. It's not like I can snap my fingers and have it come out.
Well, I mean, if this was Florida, that would be the case, but
Yeah.
California's public records law is
Well,
not
can I
as...
ask you a favor?
Sure.
Okay, would you mind doing a CPRA request, like sending something, printing something? In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll contact Sergeant Nguyen and let him know, hey, we got a CPRA request that's gonna come out, because apparently he used a cell phone of some sort to videotape, because I don't know if it's his department cell phone, his personal cell phone, whether he did or not. But at any rate, it does two things. One, it allows me to determine whether or not he actually did record or what's on it. And two, it officially lists exactly the date, the time, where you were, all that stuff. So it documents it, so we're looking for the right things. One of the hardest things about requests like that, excuse me for 1 second. Yes, sir. Moreno is inside the room standing by, yes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at the front counter right now helping a gentleman. If you can give me a couple of minutes, that'd be awesome. I have someone that has to replace her. She's been here all night long, and in a few minutes I'll have a unit free. But last I looked, everyone was on a call and we had calls pending. Perfect, I appreciate that. Let me know. As soon as I'm done with this gentleman, I'll follow through and I'll give you a call back. I understand. Yeah, there's absolutely no one there other than her. There's no issue with anyone coming back, but I will see what I can do about getting you something. All right. Sorry about that.
No problem.
We had quite a busy night. We're writing a search warrant, trying to get room searched. So,
yes.
At any rate, but that's what it would allow me to do. It would allow me to talk to him and say, hey, if you got a recording, you need to understand we're going to have a request for that. And it gives us the specifics of exactly what you're looking for. That cuts down a lot of, well, who all was recording that night? I'm looking for him, I'm looking for him, I'm looking for him. It also is a way for you to show that there's no deniability about exactly what you're looking for. So it does cover you. I mean, I've talked to you. You know, I'm a constitutional advocate. I think our rights are very important. But it documents exactly, when it comes in, it's timestamped what exactly I wanted. So no one can say, we didn't quite know what you were looking for. This is what we think you might want, and then delay it and have you have to make another request.
Okay.
Additionally, I will also look into our process for that, because our basic process is to tell people, if you go on the city website, the CPRA request is right there. If you fill that out, we'll take care of it. We comply with that. But I want to look into that, no need to have it in writing kind of thing. The time period, I understand that. It says that just because you have 10 days doesn't mean you take 10 days. It means you have at least 10 days, no more than that, and you have to tell them what you have. Either you have something or you don't have something.
I know you can get an extension to that if it's under special circumstances.
Yeah, that would be, like I mentioned before, if there's a case ongoing, it hasn't been adjudicated, and the recordings are part of the evidence. Like any of the shootings that go on here in law enforcement, people go, that's a bunch of crap, what happened? And they never bring out the video, right? Because if they brought out the video, everyone would go, oh, I see what happened. Well, police officer has rights, a victim has rights, there are a lot of other rights.
And two, if that's going to go to a jury trial, then that's going to make the jury selection harder, because if this gets out to the media, everybody
Cancel.
sees it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I'm
We've
going to
seen
be
that happen
a
before.
biased jury.
Right, exactly. And also, if it's being used as evidence, you don't want to taint the evidence. You can't taint it, because then it gets thrown out and you have no case. And that works on both sides. That works if you are trying to use it as evidence for the prosecution, or if you're trying to use it as evidence for the defense. So it works both ways. But at any rate, if you could, if you wouldn't mind doing the request that way, I'd appreciate it. And I'll get with Nguyen. He's not in today, but he's in tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll get with him and ask him about that and see what goes on.
Yes, because I will be back on, it's September the 2nd, because that would be 10 days from now.
Okay.
After I make the request, so I'll go home and do that.
Perfect.
And I've done this before with CHP, La Palma. Now, La Palma used one of their personal, cameras, but CHP, it was Officer, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he used his cell phone, and I still got the request doing the same thing there, but he took a picture and a video. Now, they provided the video on a DVD, but they printed out an actual physical copy of the picture, so he could have just taken a picture. See, it's like I said, he doesn't have the recording, have a recording light on the cell phone there.
True.
So
yeah, it could be anything from he just held it up, and didn't do anything, to he took a full length recording with audio and everything.
Yeah, we
don't know until we take it.
We just want documentation of this happening.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you: you're always out there and doing that kind of stuff. You've been to a lot of our checkpoints. What is it about the checkpoints? What do you do? Are you like a watchdog and you try to make sure that it's being done the right way, or are you in opposition to checkpoints? Or I'm curious.
It's a little bit of both. I wanted to see if it's done properly, and two, it's when it gets to a backup there, I want people to know, because people, they see Stanton there, they're unsure whether or not to turn there, and I see the turn blinker come on, turn blinker go off, and I have the sign that says, checkpoint ahead, and people will detour down Stanton, and it's, from what I've seen, I haven't seen any actual DUI arrests yet at the checkpoints I went to, unless they happen after I leave. But it seems that more people are just getting stopped for minor things, like tinted windows, expired registration. I mean, I saw one out of state from Nevada that had 04 expired registration. Okay. But I mean, if
you're talking about the 04 sticker?
Yeah.
On Nevada, that's actually the month of expiration, not the year of expiration. And if you run the plate, it'll tell you what the year is, but that's the month. They do it differently than we do in California.
Okay. I'll take note of the stickers then, because I've seen people actually with older registration. I mean, I was at Disneyland, saw someone with registration from 2008 in California. Now, if you've been putting it off from that long, I mean, I can't help you there. I mean, the law is the vehicle's registered. But it's just, minor things more to DUI than it is.
Yeah, you gotta remember the DUI checkpoints, DUI driver's license checkpoints, they're regulated by OTS, the Office of Traffic Safety. If you send off for OTS, they will tell you the parameters that we have to work within. Because we have to go by X amount of cars, we have to have exit areas, we have to have open areas, we have to have a side area where we actually talk to people if they've got something. The things that we're normally dealing with are going to be DUI, if someone appears sat there intoxicated or under the influence where they can't safely operate a motor vehicle. People who are driving unlicensed, a lot of that has to do with unlicensed, well, it's Office of Traffic Safety, DMV, California, state agencies. They're the ones that set the rules. So they give us all these rules, and we have to set up the checkpoints according to that, keep a count sheet of how many cars, and then stop this one, and then the same amount of cars, and stop this one. That's why when you see us lined up, there'll be X amount of officers, X amount of cars stop, they'll all go, then a whole bunch more cars will go, and all of a sudden we'll stop them. It's because we have a count that we're required to go by. So when you're talking about who gets stopped, what they get stopped for, it's actually random that we don't have control over.
So you have like a row of cars, they'll go through there and they'll stop and wait for the light to change, but you won't check them, but you'll have another set of cars come through.
Yeah, you'll see some cars come up and the light will change and they'll stop at the red and we won't walk up to the cars. That's because, say, they state that based on this time of day and where it is and so on and so forth, the count is 10. We have X amount of officers and we have X amount of cars. So The cars come in and we stop and we have a check sheet that actually has all the check marks and we mark off each car as it goes through. We can't just go, I want that car. It's not random. It's set, a set number of cars. So it depends on how people show up. It's not whether we go, hey, that 17th car down there, I want that one stopped. That's not what we do. When the cars stop on the count, we ask them, hey, can I see your driver's license? This is our driver's license DUI checkpoint. We'll make sure that people are driving safely, they're not under the influence of other driving, and check your driver's license. They provide us their driver's license. If they don't have the driver's license, or they're intoxicated, then we deal with them on the side. If you go to OTS and you ask them for that information, they'll give it to you.
Now, California Vehicle Code 14607.6B states that they cannot stop you for the sole purpose of checking for your driver's license.
Correct.
Now, if someone refuses, do they get still let through if they're not visually intoxicated?
No, because there's two purposes to the checkpoint. That's why it's not just a DL checkpoint. That's why it's not just a DUI checkpoint. It's multiple things. And again, if you go to OTS, they have California Office of Traffic Safety. All that information is available. You can look at it. You'll know exactly how they're set up to function, what our role is, what the driver's role is. You'll know all that stuff.
But it doesn't override California Vehicle Code, does it?
No, it should be based on California Vehicle Code.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that. Go ahead.
That section states that we can't just drive around and go, hey, I want you to pull over. Do you have a driver's license?
Yeah.
Because I don't have any reason to pull you over unless I have a legitimate reason to pull you over.
Yeah, like the registration is expired, you know, it's visible that your vehicle is not roadworthy, like you have an excessive amount of damage.
That one's kind of iffy.
I've seen some cases where, I mean, a headlight or a rear brake light out, that's one thing, but I mean, like there's, you know, your bumper's hanging half on. And
that's a hazard.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, those are the kind of things, those are traffic hazard things. The exhaust pipe's hanging down, it's banging on the ground.
Or on the highway, stuff's flying out of the back of your tail bed there.
Correct. It is a safety issue for the public at large. If you have stuff falling off, cars can hit it, cause a collision.
Yeah, just a report that came out from the NTSB about the #1 leading cause for crashes right now is debris falling on the highway.
Yeah, well, you've seen people swerve out of the way, and it's natural. You'd be driving, also, you swerve out of the way.
You don't want to hit the big chunk of tire.
Right.
You know,
the alligators in the road.
Exactly. Well, all right. I think we had a good conversation. I'll go ahead and get that
I hope you got
request.
something out of that.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to Sergeant Nguyen tomorrow. Let him know that we can expect your request. But go the city website, City of Buena Park, and in the search just put in Public Records Act, and bloop, it should come up. If not, you can download any kind of form, make your own form, as long as it's addressed to the Custodian of Records at the police department. We'll be able to provide that information. And I would encourage you to go onto the Office of Traffic Safety for the state of California and look up the definitions of what a DUI checkpoint is, what the duties are, because it's all laid out there. And they have to do it within the law. The law sets forth what we do, how we do that.
Okay. Now, I remember because I was talking with Thomas Tan there last time. I don't know if you've seen the last checkpoint with the tape, how it was set up. And
not last Friday. I was at the one at Stanton 2 weeks ago.
No, it was the one at Knott and Nertus, I believe it. Noritsu.
Yeah, no, I wasn't at that one.
Now, we had an issue with the tape and them closing off the public access area, and we went and we crossed the tape and they threatened of arrest, and later Thomas Tan, he called the station. He found out that you have to have the signs up letting people know that because you have this sign that says do not cross unless directed by an officer. Now, I went to 2 previous checkpoints before this one, and this is including the one at there right next to the highway, and they didn't use the signs. And so the next one I went to, they started using the signs after that incident since the call. So I'll look into that, because I didn't even know that there was a requirement for the sign now.
All the checkpoints I've worked in the 16 years I've been a cop, I've never seen those signs before. I know we put up tape and kind of block off the area because it provides safety for the officers who are paying attention
Yeah.
and doing this, because, you know, people.
Yeah, you gotta-
You've seen people who are, hey, cool, glad you're out here. And
Yeah.
people are like, yeah, I hate you, I want to kill you.
I'm personally, I don't condone those people that say, hey, let's go out and kill cops and all
There's
that,
no
because that's not going to solve the problem.
Right.
That's just going to make it worse. And then that's going to make people want to become cops so they can kill people that's killing cops. So
People think weird.
it's not a
see
solution
it
to the
all.
problem.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
better.
I've never seen the
yeah.
signs, but if they put the signs up, fantastic. Bottom line comes to this. When someone complains, they take a look and see if it violates policy, if it violates the law. If it does, then we make the appropriate changes. If not, and we find out that it's a good idea, we'll try to incorporate it as long as we can. Hi, heard you got something special the other night.
I did.
You're
I
welcome.
loved it. It was amazing. Just like you.
All right, you take care.
Okay.
Have a good day. Bye.
All right, so yeah, I'll go home and go ahead and get that request going and be back in 10 days for the response.
We're getting ready to do shift change next weekend.
Okay.
Okay? So through Friday, everyone's on the same shift. I'm here
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday day shift.
Okay.
But starting next week, you're gonna get a whole new set of sergeants. Like I
Okay.
go to the weekends and I'll be working nighttime weekends.
Okay.
So if you wanna get a hold of me, just know this week I'm here during the day.
Okay.
Starting next week, I'll be on weekend nights, Friday
Okay.
night, Saturday night, Sunday night.
Okay.
Okay?
And who would I be talking to? Do you know who I'd be, the next sergeant I'd be
For
talking
day
to?
shift,
Yes.
Sergeant Daringer.
Okay, Sergeant
Okay?
Deere.
It's actually Die Ringer is how you say his last
Okay.
name.
All right, then I'll go ahead and get that
Cool. Good to
going.
see you.
You too.
Glad
You have
everything's
a-
going well
yep,
for you.
You too. All right, you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you next time. All right, we had a pretty good conversation going there. I'll go ahead and get that form filled out and hopefully get a copy of this video. It's 5:17 p.m. right now, and today is Tuesday, August 23rd. I'm here to drop off my public records request statement, and Time to Stand is here to drop off a copy of his video of him almost getting hit by a motor officer for his complaint, and I'm just here to get the video.
Sergeant took a video of me, so our partner here, he did a public record request on that. I'm going to turn that in too. Oh shoot, we got to fight for open doors. No, I don't. I need to do a complaint on an officer because he almost ran me over Friday night. I'm doing a checkpoint.
I'm here just to drop off.
So you're saying I got to stop the videotape?
No. Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
No, I don't.
This is a public lobby,
What
ma'am.
is it, what you need to do? You need to talk to the watchman?
Yeah, if I talk to Washington, please.
Okay, please have a seat.
And I'm just here
You
to...
don't know the rules on recording in public place, man?
Birds.
Let's see.
I'm just gonna give this to her. I'm not gonna wait around for someone. Here, this is for the Custodian of Records
Sorry, guys.
that you've been
Oh, you need
served.
to give it to them.
No, that's for the custodian. You take, just give him. I'm not gonna wait all day for him. It's just a drop off. I told him to expect it. Sergeant Brett Carter knows all about it. So, hey everyone, the cameraman here. Today is Friday, September 2nd. It's 5:16 p.m. and I'm back at the Buena Park Police Department. I'm here to get a response to my public records request that I filed 10 days ago for the video or picture Sergeant Nguyen took of Time to Stand going through the checkpoint. I'm still within normal business hours. The lobby doesn't close until 7. So let's see if they have a response for me. I was here 10 days ago and I filed a public records request. I'm here to get my response.
Did you speak with the
I spoke with Sergeant Brett Carter. He helped me with my public records request. I'm just here to receive a copy, response, whatever is available. It should be under the cameraman.
Let me see if we have something over here for you, sir.
I need to use the bathroom.
Did you say Sergeant Carter?
Yeah, Brett Carter. He's the press information officer.
It's when it's locked.
Yeah, I have a button I push. Okay, there's a button I push.
Can I have an ID so I can send him a message so he can come and talk to you?
No, it's just a public records
What
request.
is your, no, I mean, so I can tell,
I mean,
Sergeant Carter.
he knows who I am. He knows me by the cameraman. It's not, I mean,
Okay,
I spoke
hold
to
on
him
1 second, okay?
multiple times. I'm out, not just at the station, but out on calls and DUI checkpoints.
Okay. So I'm asking him I'm telling him that you're here, okay?
Okay,
Please have a seat.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Which, no, it's Corp Plumbing.
Stop!
Notice how... Well, it could be that he, is generally looking at stuff, or he may not want to face me. See you at the checkpoint later tonight, Corporal. Oh yeah, he's probably calling me in. He's on the radio.
What? Sergeant Nguyen?
Nice to, Lieutenant. How are you?
What did you need, sir?
I'm here for my public records response.
Did you already put that in?
Yes, I did 10 days ago.
Who did you put that to?
The Custodian of Records, as directed by Sergeant Brett Carter.
Okay. So you did that already?
Yes.
Okay. I have no authority over records. I don't deal with
Okay.
the Records Request Act.
Okay.
Did you send an email to the records supervisor?
I wasn't given an email address to do
okay.
that.
Well, I can give you her email
I put a
address.
physical letter in. I typed it out because I was told by Sergeant, what you could do is you can go to the city's website. If you cannot find the form there, what you can do is print out any California Public Records request form or make your own and then submit it. We just need something in writing for record of this occurring. And that's what I did. I printed it out and I gave it to her because I remember her from when I dropped it off. It was... Here, this is for the Custodian of Records.
Sorry, guys.
That you've been served. Tuesday evening, but I think it was during the break at City Council. I don't know exact time they break, but it was,
Here's her direct email.
Okay.
She's the supervisor and custodian of the
Okay.
records. And you can send her an email and
Okay.
make the request. She works basically business hours.
okay,
I don't know about your personal request. I don't
Okay.
do those. I'm just
Okay.
on duty patrol watch now.
okay. But where's my response? It's 10, you have to respond to me by law.
I personally do.
Your agency, not you personally, but I need some sort of response here. Either the records or a response justifying my request being denied.
Right. I don't know if they responded or not. You'll have to check with her.
Well, that's what I'm here to do. 10 days to...
Today's Friday and she's not here.
Well, that's not, it doesn't matter. According to law, it's 10 days, 10 calendar days.
Right.
It's still within business hours. There has to be
it's not.
some...
It's 5:35.
Your station closes at 7, so you can't say it's not within business hours. I mean, I don't know why you're being so difficult about this. I mean, if you didn't take the video in the first place, we wouldn't be going through this whole situation. And I'm willing to pay the copying cost too. I mean, what is so difficult here? It's just a public records request.
It's not difficult, but you're contacting the wrong people. I've told you.
Okay, okay.
Okay, well, I
He's
give
the
you
one.
that.
He's the one that took the record. Okay. So just to be clear, you're denying my public records request.
I didn't say that. I told you who to contact.
I've already submitted, so there has to be a response. You're a coward, Sergeant Nguyen. See you at the checkpoint later tonight.